Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Yeah. Welcome to Massenomics, the world's strongest podcast. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Massenomics. Make sure you go visit Massenomics.com. There you'll find the rest of our powerful content. While you're there, check out our store and buy yourself some of that sweet Massenomics gear.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 167 of the Massenomics podcast, the world's strongest podcast, aka the lifting podcast about nothing. You probably know both of us as hosts already if you've been around for any of the previous 166 episodes, but if you don't, my name's Tanner, and to my left is Tommy.
What's happening?
Tommy, how's it going this week?
It's going good, but if I have to be completely critical and complain about something, so I gotta make sure our podcast setup's good here. Okay, if I have to be completely critical, I got like this weird allergy sore throat thing, and it's killing me. And when I say killing me, it's not killing me, but it's really annoying.
Yeah.
And today I actually got to a point where I had the hiccups at the same time too, and it just felt like my body was revolting against me. But I've recovered from that part at least. But yeah, it's for the most part though, my throat not good.
Do you get allergies?
I do now apparently. Yeah. I think this is part of the getting older and everything just starts to fall apart. Yeah. Because I don't know. It just really started hitting me these past few years.
I can vouch. That's true. That is what happens.
And like now I do, according to my wife, I need to be doing like a daily Flonase thing, and I have to take Zyrtec, and I'm at the point where I guess I just need to take pills on a daily basis to get through modern life.
Just to live a relatively comfortable life.
If that doesn't make people feel sorry for me, I don't know what will.
What about, and I don't know if this is the right word or if this is what it's called, but if it's not, I'll describe it, but I think it's maybe a neti pot.
Oh, yeah, like the thing that uses
like
a vacuum. It's like kind of. It uses somehow like almost a vacuum, or does it just rinse you out? I don't even remember what it is.
Yeah, I think it puts water through.
That's
your
what it
nasal.
is. Yeah. I'm thinking of the candles that people do. On their ear. That uses like a vacuum.
Yeah, and that sucks out the.
I don't know. I've never done any of that. I've never done any of it. I don't know. I have no idea. My way of getting over things is usually just to wait it out. I'll do nothing. That's usually my solution. And my wife, being in the medical field, tells me that's not the right solution ever.
I am personally very averse to taking any pills of for anything. Yeah. Like with my knee surgery here, I was kind of my wife gets upset with me because I don't even want to take the pain medicine. Like, I'd rather almost complain about it and not take the medicine than take the medicine.
Which I don't think is the completely wrong answer there either.
Especially on the way, like narcotic.
That is a problem in America right now.
Right.
So a more cautious approach is probably better than the other way around.
And I did express that concern with the with the doctors even too, and they did say for that acute period of time, the chances of some form of.
You said like on a scale of not to worry to losing my house, where should I be at on this about taking these?
Said, yeah, you're probably okay. And she kind of laughed too, because she said, well, if you're talking about that as even like a concern, you're probably not the one that's going to.
It's like when you're in the store, you're like, can I afford this? It's like if you're already having that conversation, you probably are thinking more ahead than the person that's like, I'll buy it. I don't care. I'll buy it.
Yep. Yes, exactly. So you're jacked up on meds right now.
Well, yeah. That's just what I have to do. I once the sneezes hit with me, it is just like if you start sneezing. There's like a thing. I think if you sneeze more than 5 times in a minute, like your body temperature goes up like 4 or 5 degrees instantly. Like there's nothing that makes me just sweat faster than just starting to sneeze.
Yep.
And you can't like get through a day like that. So I got to take this stuff to hopefully power through.
A little South Dakota spring summers.
But in more positive news, Tanner, I finished Game of Thrones.
Oh,
I did 8 seasons in 8 weeks. There was times where it looked like I wasn't going to keep on pace. But
season and yeah.
But especially the 8th season, because I was like, well, I have to finish this. It was Sunday would have been my 8 week on the mark spot, and I had not started season 8 yet. And just like that, I did all of season 8 in a day. Yeah. So I did it. I never actually thought I would get around to doing Game of Thrones. It's always those ones where people are like, oh, yeah, you got to watch it. And it's like, yeah, don't say anything. I'm going to watch it. And then in the back of your mind, you're like, well, but that is a lot of time to watch TV. Yeah. But we really buckled down and got it done.
It begs the question. I believe Game of Thrones has been on overrated, underrated before, correct?
It has been.
I thought you gave it overrated.
Was it overrated? Because it was like one of the biggest shows, all the hype. Yeah, I think you're right.
So, do you have what's your opinion now, like post?
Well, see, it's tricky now because a lot of people are just like, oh, it was the worst thing ever. And to those people, I'm like, well, it's underrated then, because it was for sure not the worst thing.
No, exactly.
I think that's also, and so this, I'm not going to talk about the show at all or anything. The only thing I'll address here is that a lot of people said season 8 was terrible and season 7 wasn't very good. And so if that's like what's keeping you from maybe watching it right now, like you were in a position like me and you're like, well, should I start it? Should I do it? I would still do it if you want to get invested in a show, because I think that's a much different approach to a person when you have 8 or 9 years of expectations and time investment versus 8 weeks.
Yes.
And for me, 8 weeks, it's like, hey, I'm going along for the ride. What's going to happen? Oh, this is fun. I'm entertained. And that was just like, that just kept going on. And I didn't have months on end to sit and stew and like create theories and things that like wish lists for myself for what I need to see to be happy with it.
Yep.
And, I didn't read the books either, so I don't have that to complain against, like they're ruining it against the books.
Yep.
So by the time it all got said and done, there was times in season 8 where I could have been like, this isn't quite following the formula, or maybe things are a little different here. And I think the other big complaint was things are rushed because it was a shorter season. I can understand that complaint.
Yep.
But by the time it was all said and done, I'm like, you know what? They did the show. They obviously put an insane amount of work and effort into this. Mm-hmm. The whole thing is produced amazingly, and I was entertained the entire time, so I am fine with it.
I agree completely. Like, I didn't like all the complaining about. It's like, you make a show that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and there's these people signing petitions online to get them to redo it. And it's like, yeah, okay. All of you guys pitching $1,000, you could hire someone, I guess, at that point to do this, but. When it was all said and done, I guess if I could have my druthers right now and do an over-under on complainers on that show, I would say the complainers are way overrated.
Yeah.
And probably the 8th season, because it was getting so much hate, I could say underrated, I think.
Yeah. A little extra taste of overrated, underrated this week.
Maybe a taste of what's to come.
Yeah. We usually don't do any over or underrating this early in the show.
First 40 minutes, yeah.
Listeners now they're not going to know what, like, usually that's the culmination of the whole thing.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
You can just tune out now.
Yeah.
But
there's more to come, though, still. We still have a full docket of underrated, overrated topics.
But I guess all this did was teach me is that I do have the ability to power through big shows.
Yep.
And so now it's like, well, do I do The Sopranos? Do I do, I don't know, any of these other shows that are way too long that I thought before?
I think we'll get to some of that in underrated and overrated this week.
And I guess, not to spend time on the TV thing too much right now, but I did make the jump then to Chernobyl. Have you watched that yet, Tanner?
No, just wait.
Okay. All right. We'll hold off then. We
can't put the cart before the horse here.
Okay. Well, we'll stop on TV talk for now. Oh, one last thing. New Black Mirror is out. Black Mirror is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Also, people say New Black Mirror sucks. I haven't watched it yet, so I cannot.
What is that on? What station?
Netflix.
Oh, I don't have that right now, so I can't partake in that.
So it's just TV time. Not going to go outside this summer.
Yeah.
Can't go outside or go to the gym.
Well, you don't have a boat anymore.
I don't have a boat anymore. So
what's the point?
What is the point even? Just watch TV and do nothing.
What do non-boat people even do out there?
What do regular people do? God, gotta adjust my life here. Yeah, so we'll find out.
Yeah.
Do we want to get to it now?
Yeah, the topic of the day, the thing we're thinking about discussing is taking a look at 2019 World's Strongest Man, which when this episode comes out, it will have just been wrapping up right now as we're recording it.
That's not the television show. This is just the
actual
competition. Historically, the television show is anywhere from
7 to 10 years later.
Roughly, yeah. That's not a whole lot of an exaggeration. Some amount
Might
of
as
time
well be.
Some amount of time that you would never guess is an appropriate amount. That's the amount of time it takes.
And then that some amount of time that you will already know the results of every event.
So yeah, there's a good chance that you probably saw the results. If you are listening to this on Monday, you may have seen the results on Instagram, like on Sunday, or you probably are just coming across them now too.
So it's our opportunity. It doesn't start till tomorrow, as we're recording this real time. They start the heats tomorrow, but we should probably do some sort of just at least relatively quick predictions, just so we can you guys will be able to see right away how wrong we
always are.
Yeah. So group 1, we'll go down the groups. So there's 5 groups. 2 from each group make the finals. I'll tell you the competitors real quick, and we'll pick our 2, and
because
we'll just come to a consensus, and then we'll.
Is it 2 go on from each group?
Yeah, 2 go on, so 10 total in the finals. The events quick for the heats are a monster truck pull. I saw today they're unloading Gravedigger.
Oh, I was gonna say
this is the type of
very
shit
American.
It being in America.
Yeah,
Bradenton, Florida. For if anyone doesn't know. That's the type of stuff we can do now. And I see Steve Slater and the gang they're all there, and like he looks like he's working on a lot of stuff. So I imagine it's going to look cooler this year all around. Pulling Gravedigger is a good start.
That is. It's a very American, very American event, no doubt about that.
So it's the monster truck pull. Event 2 is the super yoke and farmers walk medley. Event 3 is the deadlift for reps. I think maybe it's a car deadlift. I don't know that for sure. Event 4 is overhead press for reps. And event 5 is last man standing Atlas stones. But through the first 4 events, whoever's leading in the group automatically makes the finals. Whoever through the first 4 events after the overhead press, if they're leading, they make the finals. And then the people that are in second and third battle each other in event 5, the last man standing stones.
So the 5th event only matters to two
people, and whichever of them wins, it's a 400-pound Atlas stone back and forth over the bar. Whoever wins makes that.
And do they have like
finals.
a time limit there? Where it's...
I don't know. They have a so long each attempt. To
get
do
that
it.
Back.
Yeah. Okay. So group 1, Half Thor. Some guy we don't know. I'm going to say that on these ones that legitimately, if I can't pronounce them, I don't even know them. It's not worth.
Okay.
For as in depth as we get in it, it's not even going to be worth. Half Thor, some guy we don't know. Rob Kearney, some guy we don't know, and Luke Stoltman.
Okay.
So Half Thor's going to
win for sure.
Is going to win the group.
You say some guy. I don't know over like any of those guys, so
no,
I can't even.
But the other 2 would be the 2 that I would know are Rob Kearney and Luke Stoltman. Luke Stoltman's British. Rob Kearney is USA World's Strongest Gay. The guy that broke them.
Okay,
I'm going to pick him because he's USA.
Yeah, I'll go with him too.
Yeah. So the better question is probably who's better at Atlas stones, Rob Kearney or Luke Stoltman, because I think those will be the 2, and I don't know that, so I'm just going to go with the American.
I'm on board with that.
Group 2 is Adam Bishop. He's a strong British guy. Konstantin Janasia, Robert Oberst, 2 other guys, a Swedish.
I'm going to go Robert Oberst and Janasia there.
Okay, so are you going to say Janasia is going to win the
Probably, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. And then I would say the other 2 are between Adam Bishop and Robert Oberst. We'll go with the American again.
Yep.
Even I think Adam Bishop might be better,
it's
but
like
we
home
don't.
field, so they have an advantage.
Exactly. Group 3 is Martins, Lisis, Mikhail Shivdakov. Don't know. Tom Stoltman. So there's brothers in this. We talked about Luke Stoltman earlier. Tom Stoltman is here, and then Eddie Williams. I believe I've heard him. Anyways, I think our answers are Martins and then Mikhail Shivdakov.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's a safe bet there.
Group 4, JF Caron, Kevin Fairs, who's USA, Mateus Kilkowski, Lawrence Chalet is British, and we'd have to go Mateus to win the group.
Yeah, and I think you kind of probably JF Caron.
Yeah,
too.
It would be. I think it'd be between JF Caron and Lawrence Chalet, and we'll say JF Caron because we've seen him much more personally, so I think that's probably what we would think.
Yep.
Group 5 is Shaw, and then Mark Felix. Trey Mitchell, he's American, but then the other one in that group is Alexei Novikov, and he's the
that's probably the toughest heat out of all.
Shaw, Novikov, and Mark Felix, I think, are the.
How old is Mark Felix?
He's old. I think he's like 50.
I actually didn't know he was still like competing in actually World's Strongest Man.
I think you'd have to say Shaw would win, and then I would think maybe that Novikov could.
I think
be
he
the
has
other one.
Yeah, has just as good a shot as anyone to be making it to the finals with that.
So we're saying Hafthor, Rob Kearney, Konstantin Janashia, Robert Oberst, Martins Lisis, Mikhail Shivlyakov, Mateusz Kielkowski, JF Caron, Brian Shaw, and Alexei Novikov, or whatever his name is. So
that's not a whole lot different than the Arnold lineup.
Not really.
Janashia and
Janashia is not there. Robert Oberst isn't there. So Jerry Pritchett isn't isn't competing in this. Yeah.
But it is pretty similar lineup though.
Yeah. Event 1 is a loading race, so I'm guessing it'll be like sandbags
for the finals now.
Yes, no, this is the final events. Event 1 is a loading race. Maybe it'll be actually, I don't know. Maybe it'll be something. Who knows what it is? But it's probably going to be like 3 or 4 implements that they have
all
to go back.
types of American-based things.
Yeah, that's what I wonder what's the
sack of cheeseburgers and
what else?
A bag of trash. Just American. A bag of needles. It's a cue or a little mention to the drug epidemic in America. So they got to haul this bag of needles from one point to another.
Try not to stab themselves and get HIV. Event 2. This is interesting. It's the deadlift hold. So I believe you deadlift, you pick something up, and it's a hold.
And is it a regular bar?
I do not know what they're holding, but it's not a
How exciting would it be if it was an axle bar and it was like 400 pounds?
I assume that will not be what it's like. But the big thing, the big person I think that could be important for is Mateus, because his weakest event is the deadlift.
It is.
So in the finals there is not a deadlift.
Like a max deadlift.
Yeah, that's really there's a grip event instead.
Yeah, so it could be like an 800-pound deadlift, and then just see how long you can hold it at the top.
Which, whatever the weight is, I believe he's going to be able to pick it up once.
You would think, I would think for him, once he gets it off the ground, that's the hardest part.
Yeah,
and then it's I would assume he probably has just as good a grip as anyone at that point.
So event 1, the loading race, I guess we skip by it, but you'd think Mateus is going to do well in that.
He
probably
traditionally does.
Probably
Hafthor does pretty
good
too.
Well in it. Shaw kind of looks bigger and slower. He used to be really good at those. And
he just seems like he's not. He's getting bad at moving.
yes. But you'd kind of think Mateus and Hafthor and those would be the front runners for that event. I would think maybe Martins.
Martins pretty athletic.
Yeah. The deadlift hold. I think Shaw would have to be good at that because I know he does a lot of crazy grip stuff.
And yes,
that's a harder one to guess because I don't know these guys' grip strength.
Yeah, you don't.
Mark Felix, if he made it, I know he's got a pretty crazy grip because his hands are like enormous, but we don't have him in there. I would just. Do you think Hafthor's good at the grip hold?
With how big his hands are, it seems weird that he wouldn't be. Yeah. And I mean, how just strong he is too.
Yeah.
They got to be favorites. Also, Mateus also seems like one of those guys that just kind of has the weird strength that like a lot of people can't seem to train, and he has it. So maybe he would be good at that too.
So we don't really know very.
Yeah,
well.
that one is, and that's probably got to be one of the bigger mysteries out there. I would assume.
Event 3 is the overhead press medley, and I think it's maybe I don't know what order it is, but it's what I've seen most of them practicing is a log, an axle, a circus dumbbell, and then like a dumbbell in each hand, like a double dumbbell press. That's what I've kind of seen them, but I think it's like 4 implements, and it'll probably be for time. So Thor's probably going to be good at that. Mateus is going to be good at that. Shaw's going to be good at that. Rob Kearney would be very good at that event.
Robert Oberst, is he pretty good overhead too?
Yeah. Yep. He's a really strong overhead guy. So that's so we named like half.
We narrowed it down to half the people, and the other ones could still be good too.
The event 4 is the deadlift for rep, or not the deadlift, the squat lift for reps. So it's going to be a squat. I don't know how it's going to be set up, but it's a squat, and they'll have something where the weight's hitting the platforms on the side. You know?
Oh, so you gotta like hit the supports.
Yeah, either that or unless they have it on a fixed thing where it's like the keg squat, where it's almost like a fixed apparatus that they're almost like a Smith machine in the gym, that kind of thing. But I don't think it's like that. I think it's more like where they have to go down and touch the weights onto something on each side, and it'll be a set weight for number of reps.
They did something pretty similar to that the year Eddie Hall won, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yes. So who's going to be good at that? Shaw and Halfthor again. I think would both be good at that. Martins.
Yeah, it's been just a while since I feel like you've seen in like a squat event.
Yeah.
On like a bigger World's Strongest Man competition, so I'm not even really sure like where people's numbers are at with this.
There again, most of them will be pretty. Those 5 guys that are the best will all be pretty good at it. Probably.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Last event is Atlas Stones, and I'm sure it's the typical Atlas Stone medley. I think this year is maybe a little bit heavier than what it's been in some years, and Shaw's good at stones. Halfthor's very good at stones.
When you say the stone, you're just talking about just
just where they load the 5 stones
platform, like always.
Yeah.
That's the one. It's like it kind of almost comes down to who it matters to the most.
Yeah,
there.
right. Yeah, that's true because if Thor already hasn't won, he's not going to go win the stones.
Exactly. Yeah.
So now we know who our competitors are, and we know what their events are. What's your podium? You pick a podium, and I'll pick a podium.
Okay, I think I'll go.
Let's start with 3rd place.
Okay, let me just rethink in my head how I'm going to do this whole thing now. 3rd, I will go. I'll go Martins in 3rd.
All right.
Mateus in 2nd. Thor in 1st.
So
that was the Arnold podium, wasn't it?
I think Martins got 2nd, didn't he? Yeah. I think that was the podium, but didn't because you put Martins in 3rd, right? Yeah. Did Martins get 2nd or 3rd?
I think he did get 2nd, actually. Yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, actually.
It was, either way, the podium was the same. 2nd and 3rd might have been flipped. Yeah. But, I think I'll go Martins 3rd, Mateus 2nd.
So the man you're leaving out is
Shaw.
Brian Shaw, yeah. I think that's kind of the same thing.
To me, Shaw will probably be the wild card, whether he gets hurt or not.
I just think of the events again. Loading race, I don't love Shaw on that. Deadlift hold, I think he could do very well.
He could, yes.
The squat lift, I think he could do very well. The overhead press, he'll finish it all. I just don't think he'll be as fast as some of those guys. He's just not I don't know. Maybe I'll say the same thing, except I'll say Shaw in 3rd and then Mateus and Thor. But otherwise, I was probably actually going to pick what you had too.
Yeah. I'd say both are very likely to happen.
Yeah.
Either or. It's
probably safe picks too.
Yeah.
But what will actually probably happen? Those 4 guys we're talking about, 1 or 2 of them, probably will
get hurt.
Yeah,
in the deadlift hold or whatever, someone's hand will rip open and completely ruin all the overhead medley for them. And
so my question is this. If Shaw doesn't get hurt in this, it will be the first time I recall him not getting hurt in a major competition in a while. And so assuming he does get hurt in this, what is he going to where is he going to take some time off and be like, okay, this, because he's been getting hurt every time basically,
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is there. Yeah. It's hard to. Because you just say, well, from now on, when there's a max deadlift, just don't max out anymore. But that's kind of hard to even say there because what's the difference between 1,000 and 1,030 or whatever it is? Right. I think you're not a whole lot more likely to be safe at one than the other. That's a good question. What is his long-term road here? Well, there's not a long-term road.
No, he does his runway is getting shorter all the time.
It's just what is the what is possible in the next few years? Even.
Well, because how many more times is he? Because I know, of course, that probably greatly disappoints him when he goes and trains for this forever, and then he goes there and he pulls his hamstring, and then he kind of has to limp through the last of 2 events, and then he has to explain to everyone that he got hurt because everyone's like, "Ooh, why'd Shaw do so shitty?"
But while we're saying this, he could also get first.
Oh yeah, that's. I mean,
you just don't know.
Really,
with
it would
him.
be. his limiting factor in all the past ones where he's done, for him poorly is that he gets hurt.
Oh yeah,
if he just does not get hurt,
it's still in my mind of just like strength. It still is probably like a toss up between Shaw and Thor,
right?
But it's just Shaw lately has had a repeated,
and Thor is like bulletproof.
Yeah, Thor's bulletproof, and then Shaw just has this like long road of injuries. So it's you like hope that he can buck that trend, but it doesn't seem. Usually, like, you don't have a bunch of injuries and then just all of a sudden you're good again.
Yeah.
Especially at this point in your career, you're probably thinking like, well, there's a pattern emerging.
I think he's maybe 36 or 37.
And then he is on the wrong side of the age group too.
Yeah.
Are we adjusting over there, Tanner?
Yeah, I'm kind of just have to move around a little bit.
Old bad leg over here.
See, the thing is, like, for my leg's always in a funny position. So then after a while, my hip starts to hurt because it's like. I limp on this leg.
But luckily, you have really limber hips, right?
That's true. Thank God. Thank God. God blessed me with.
In case you guys aren't picking up on this, that is a big time joke.
I'm down to one crutch now, though.
Oh yeah, I did. I did click
pretty
with
good
me right away, but yeah.
I graduated that just earlier today, so in 1 week
you're now a tripod.
Yeah. Hopefully, by the time we record next week, I will be on 0 crutches.
Yeah, really? That's a possibility?
Yep. I'll still be in the old leggy McBrace here, but it'll be a dream when this goes away, though. Yeah. I'm going to burn this, I think. And
light it up.
Yeah. Yes. I had to do just... I'm not going to spend the whole time talking about this, but like just something that shocked me when I was through physical therapy this week is I had to do this drill where all I had to do, there was, a small orange cone on the ground, like a training cone that
and
you
had
run
to do
a
a pistol squat with your good leg and pick it up.
Someone did ask me that, like if I'm going to be doing pistol squats now. Like, yeah, that's going to happen. That'll work.
Yeah. My risk for injury to my one good leg and also my bad one is just insanely high.
Yes. But all I had to do was bring my bad leg up to I had my brace off, bring my bad leg up to my toe to the front of the cone, then bend my knee just enough, bend it back, flex it just enough that I could glide my foot across the cone without knocking it over. Oh. So the cone is not a foot tall.
Yeah, it's not like an actual highway parking cone.
Yeah, it was an 8-inch tall cone. And my hamstring, I have so little control over it at this point, or that I was struggling so hard, and it was almost making me laugh because it just didn't.
Man, I have a.
Well, it's just like my brain. I know what I want to be doing, and I just it wasn't acting as I felt like it should be. Just it did honestly kind of make me laugh. I was like, this doesn't make any sense.
That's the hashtag road to recovery right there, Tanner.
Yeah.
That's what everyone goes through, right?
Yeah.
I think when they get injured.
That's true.
Just trying to move their leg again.
That's right. I don't know if we're to it yet or not, but there is big news.
So do we cover everything for World's Strongest Man then?
I think so. Generally, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean we pretty much picked who we're gonna think is gonna win, and that we think there'll be a cheeseburger bag and maybe something else.
Needles and trash. I like the trash. Just bags of trash.
bags of trash we pulled out of the ocean.
They're going to be on the beach and be like, it's going to be like a trick by the city mayor. He's going to be like, for this event, you guys run around and pick up all this trash off the beach and bring it over here and put it in this dumpster.
It was high tide a week ago, and we took all the trash that washed ashore, and they will be doing a max trash squat for reps here.
That's Florida.
So I'm curious to see what type of American spin they can put on the event. That's maybe what I'm most excited for.
Of course, when they bring World's Strongest Man to the United States, they put it in Florida. Mm-hmm. Everywhere they could be.
I mean, it is a real actually vacation destination compared to the regular spot.
That's true. That's true. Oh, compared to their regular spot, yes.
You can get there with a somewhat easy plane ride.
People choose to live there.
Yeah. Yep.
Not just because that their family has lived there for 10,000 years.
Not because the economic conditions have forced them to live there. And they do got that going for them. No doubt about that.
But yeah, I think that pretty much covers our take on World's Strongest Man. We're probably not the most hard hitting coverage, but know what we think at least.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so
Okay.
you had something else there.
Yes, a brand new segment.
Oh, we like new segments.
Yeah,
Keep them coming.
We are kind of the lifting segment podcast
yeah,
about nothing.
we're kind of almost like the Late Show of lifting podcasts.
That is kind of what we're like. That's kind of what,
Like a raving studio audience that's just going nuts the whole time.
Yeah, maybe we should film this in front of a live studio audience at some point in time. Would that make you feel different about? I would feel weird.
I've actually have thought about that once or twice, like because a lot of podcasts do at some point
go in front
perform a podcast like where there'll be some event or something. I mean, this is podcasts that a lot of people listen to.
Yeah.
Not the Massenomics podcast, but like they'll get big enough where we're gonna do a live show in New York or a live show wherever they're at, or go to a place because people will turn up for it. And I think, man, if that ever happened for Massenomics, like, what the hell would that even be like?
Would you be more nervous for that than?
I think I would be, actually.
I would be.
Because now all of a sudden I'm like, I would definitely be looking out at the crowd.
Yeah.
And
But to think of it this way, there are thousands of people listening to this.
Yeah.
But we just don't.
Well, we don't see them.
Right.
And I mean, if we totally mess something up, we can stop it, which we to
never
date haven't had to do. But I mean, if it did.
Yeah, I mean, what would our standard be of something even being messed up? Like,
I don't know, because it would have to be, because for the most part, if we'd just be like, oh, sorry guys, this is getting messed up.
Yeah.
Just bear with us. Like, it would have to be really bad, like just completely unlistenable for us to actually have to go back.
although
and do something.
if it was an audience, that were really big fans of the podcast, it'd be kind of fun.
Well, I would hope it'd be kind of rowdy, talking about maybe some lift short jokes in there.
Some heckling from the
just a crowd, before it starts, heckling is encouraged.
Yeah.
It'll be
what I picture now is more so an audience of my wife, your wife, and 3 other people that don't really care
where
about
it's
the
like,
podcast,
an episode. I haven't listened to one of these for a really long time.
Yeah.
What the hell do they talk about? But yeah, if it was an episode,
just crickets.
if we did an episode in front of actual listeners, that could be fun though.
That would be cool.
I think maybe at first
someday we'll figure out how that could happen.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah. Okay, so a new segment though. New segment's not something that comes around every episode here, so it is a big deal every time we get a new segment. So this new segment is called the Massenomics Top 5 List.
Oh, are we going to discuss 5 things?
5 things. There's going to be 5 things on a list.
Okay.
It's in the vein of
maybe another late night show
that has a list that's maybe twice as long as this typically.
Yeah.
But our list is going to be 5.
They have twice as many writers as we do, though.
Well, and ours is original, so we're doing a top 5.
Right, yeah.
We're not just
we're
ripping
not
off someone else's idea.
Copy, yeah.
So this week is going to be the top 5 things that went on while Steffi Cohen broke her last deadlift from the ground.
And if people don't know, go back and watch her do some of her latest deadlifts. So I think she even mentions that they're moving really slow.
Yes.
I mean, once they start moving, they move fine. But it's the to get to moving part.
Yes.
Takes an incredibly long time lately. Like most people would give up every single time.
I think so.
And when I say most people, I think literally every person. I don't know if anyone does them longer than her.
So you have the list in front of you also. Maybe we can go back and forth. I'll start off.
Okay.
The number 5 thing that went on while Steffi Cohen broke her last deadlift from the ground. Those green bananas you just bought from the store turned brown.
Ooh.
That's how long it took.
They're ready to eat for some people.
Yeah.
Do you have brown bananas or green?
Don't.
Okay.
Get that cart before
Okay.
That's
Number 4.
That's coming up in a future episode.
Number 4. Things that Steffi Cohen did before her last deadlift broke the ground. Larry Wheels sold 73 programs for $19.99 each. That's a good deal. That's a good deal on a program.
Programs that he. The number 3 thing that went on while Steffi Cohen broke her last deadlift from the ground. Tommy buzzed his hair and it grew back.
And this is years in the process here.
Yeah.
Number 2, the price of the Massenomics lift shorts went up again. Some people say the impossible just doesn't happen, but
and that's how slow it was. That happened. So the number 1 thing that went on while Steffi Cohen broke her last deadlift from the ground, powerlifting was accepted as an official Olympic sport.
Okay, Tanner. Now we're just getting a little ridiculous with these.
So that's the new segment, the top 5 list.
Very good. That one would might have to be like a laugh track or something for that.
I know
one.
that's what we almost need. That's why we need the live studio audience.
Yeah, It's like on The Office with Michael Scott. So when they're roasting him, he's like, yeah, need room to spit water and slap my leg. And that's what we need. We need all of that stuff.
Yep.
Where are we at? We got lots of time still. So, man, we can just run through segments all day here.
We do have a best Instagram/YouTube comment of the
week. Been a little while on one of those.
Yeah, and this is on Ed Cohn's Lifting Legend post. I'll also mention that was our 50th Lifting Legend. So we saved quite the legend for number 50.
And I think that was kind of specifically planned that way, wasn't it?
Yeah, because several times people have asked, well, why doesn't Ed Cohn have one? Why doesn't Ed Cohn have one? And we wanted to save a big one for number 50. And the comment on there was, there's a bunch of people with a better raw deadlift. Because one of the bullets for Ed Cohn's Lifting Legend post had a 901 raw deadlift in the 220 class on a stiff bar. And the comment is, there's a bunch of people with a better raw deadlift. And my first thing, define a bunch.
I was going to say, and by a bunch, you mean a handful in the history of the world. So, yeah, I guess by that metric, and if a handful is a bunch to you, then maybe that is.
And if we're talking that weight class, what is there, two? Yuri and Kaler, who just came around like.
Yeah, that just happened like a year ago.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So.
They know someone that's better than you, though, Tanner. So.
Well, and also, even if there is someone that has a larger deadlift than him, which there is. So.
What does it matter?
Yeah. That's.
Well, he clearly shouldn't be a lifting legend.
Yeah,
I think
that's
is what they're trying
is
to
that
explain
the point,
to you.
or?
Yeah. What's the actual goal? What are we trying to accomplish here? And, that doesn't quite come across the way that would make sense to anyone.
Right. I thought I actually had one other. Oh, yes. Speaking of Steffi's deadlift, she was deadlifting wearing the Jefferson deadlift tee this week. And also, someone else we just mentioned here, Kayla Woolen, was also wearing the Jefferson deadlift tee this week. So that's like two of the strongest
deadlifters in the entire world
wearing the Jefferson deadlift tee. And both of them did mention that Kayla, I think, was doing conventional and Steffi was doing sumo, and they're both using it as assistance work for their Jefferson deadlift.
Oh, yeah. Well, and, even Alan Thrall did
had
a little shot.
Yeah. And Alan said it was the best deadlift variation because it's three-dimensional.
Which.
And I don't know if we've really covered that
we haven't,
before.
But there is another plane that we don't normally talk about with deadlifts there, and he does have a point. I never really thought of that.
Yeah. Three-dimensional. That is a good point.
And I think in what was it? I can't remember. Was it on that post or a different one where someone was like, "Seriously, what is the benefits of Jefferson deadlifting?"
Yeah.
And I believe it was Scott Dodds that came in with like this whole answer. And the person's like, "Great, thanks."
A few people have asked me that in earnest before, and I usually just decline to answer any serious questions.
And I like the ones where people, because you don't want to give people bad advice, but when someone comes in and gives like a really thorough explanation, and people are like, "Oh, cool," it's like they might be getting a little misled on this, or they might be seeing the light. It's hard to say what's happening there.
You decide. The runner-up for best comment of the week. This is on Steffi's deadlifting post where she's wearing the Jefferson deadlift shirt. Someone said, "Ditch the straps, WTF, people." So as she's doing this 130-pound woman's doing this,
like 500 pounds for reps.
Ditch the straps, people.
Those
WTF.
straps were incredibly offensive.
Yeah.
To one person's perception of that lift.
WTF. Like,
did you DM Steffi and make sure that she knows that she's causing?
That she needs to ditch the straps.
Yeah, there's a revolt happening in the comment section.
It makes me want to be like, WTF.
Tanner.
Yes.
Are you ready for the third ever installment of Fitness's Finest?
I'm ready.
Last week the bar was set pretty high. You even took it into the Instagram story section.
All our underrated, overrated. The way we pull the group.
I really enjoyed the comments because it's not underrated, overrated. These are not yes or no questions here.
No.
Fitness's Finest is making people aware of the finer things that existed in the fitness industry. There was questions such as, is this product good? Is it sexual? Does it fold under the bed?
Yeah.
And people seem to be in agreement on most of them.
Yeah.
So
it does fall under the bed. It is sexual. One of them is shit.
Yep. yeah, that's what.
What was the Hawaii chair? Oh, is she excited?
Yeah.
The Hawaii chair.
It's catchy, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so this week, Tanner, I have my research has taken me through the far corners of time and space in the fitness industry.
Sounds like something from Star Trek.
Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like I was doing. Also, I do have to say, I hadn't noticed it before, but I got hit with a few ads this week, especially the ad of the mouth blade thing. Yeah. And I'm like, why am I seeing ads for this thing? How is this happening to me? Yeah. And then, I remembered that.
Fitness's Finest research.
I was browsing those things, and now Fitness's Finest. Google and Facebook apparently think
that. The facial flexor.
The facial flexor. That's what. Google and Facebook now insist that I buy one, so I have 3 in the mail now. All right, first up, the Body Blade.
Body Blade.
Body Blade. What are your, any guesses on what the Body Blade is, Tanner?
The Body Blade.
The name immediately goes right in with a lot of the things we've discussed in this industry.
Body,
in this segment.
Blade. Blade seems to be actually kind of a popular term to use. What it is, I don't know. That's so broad.
Is it Dexter Jackson's signature?
The Blade.
The Blade. Yeah.
We do like the Blade in this podcast.
We are a fan of Dexter the Blade Jackson. There's no doubt about that.
That's what my guess is. It's going to be Dexter the Blade Jackson. It's the secret.
Some signature workout, something that he invented. Yeah. Well, let's do a little research here and find out if you're right.
We are big on Dexter the Blade Jackson.
We are. I'm trying to remember. Do we have? Is it his autograph picture we have on the board? Whose autograph?
That's not Dexter Jackson. That's Johnny Jackson.
Johnny Jackson. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say I didn't think it was him.
The guys at Massenomics Gym keep pumping or something like that.
Yep. All right. So the Body Blade.
We also have Jay Cutlers.
We do have Jay Cutlers, and also
Dana Lynn Bailey.
Dana Lynn Bailey. Yeah. Body Blade. So, just like last week, the little face blade thing that we talked about, this one is using
like that, doesn't it?
The very similar concept, and it basically looks like a bow and arrow without the string. And the way this works is you hold it out in front of you, straight out in front of you with 2 hands, and then the arms of the bow go out, parallel to the ground. And it pretty much
flexy.
Yeah, pretty much. And then it's I would assume how that face one works. You just shake it up and down, and the resistance of the blades, the blade of the Body Blade, I guess gives you some type of workout thing. Let's take a look at how this thing works here, Tanner. If we can get some internet action. Blade. They do have 2,700 subscribers on YouTube, which is more than us. So I think that means
demoralizing.
I think that means they're more of a real thing than we are.
That's it. I quit.
And okay, this is the other thing I've noticed now in after some deep research on these, that I don't think you're allowed to sell a fitness product unless you can somehow hire like a 3D animator to make a version of the body of just muscles. Like that is that is loud and annoying music. That has to be like a prerequisite for selling these things. It's like, all right, I made the product. I got to get it to market, but I cannot do it until I hire an animator to make a 3D muscle version doing this thing, which obviously is not actually showing how the muscles work at all.
I was going to say that muscle activity does not look natural. What's going on in that?
Yeah, it's like, it affects the biceps. Well, let's make the biceps just pump at an uncontrollable rate while they use our device.
To go very deep in the core.
The core.
Okay, so they got this thing. So they got this thing going. They don't just hold the Body Blade in front of you. They do behind the back, above the head. They do a plank
with
holding it out in front of you. Which at this point, it's like you're just doing exercise. You're just doing exercise. It doesn't matter if there's a Body Blade involved. You're doing an exercise.
One-arm dumbbell bench with a body.
It's like if they were just squatting and using it. It's like, well, it's doing something because you're squatting. So you can use different positions, like a hip thrust.
Ooh, the
double blader, and obviously there's going to be an ab crunch variation. That doesn't involve crunching the abs at all either, I guess.
The
behind the back, so you get some
Just
trick
if you get
shots.
cocky.
Oh, there's the one where you turn the hands towards your face. Yeah, and then some different variations of the plank. So that is the body blade, and should we see if it's still available? Do you think it's still available, Tanner?
Yes.
It's kind of fun just to read the comments because they're so dumb.
Use the body blade while on the Hawaii chair.
I mean, if you are serious about gains, yeah, you definitely can. Body blade shopping, according to Google, it is available for anywhere between $21 and $65. So, $69. So, yeah, it's still out there. And this one even comes with a poster.
Oh, of the exercise.
So, the exercise. So that's how you know it's good. All right.
Well, I thought you knew it good if it folds under the bed.
Does it fit under the bed? This one definitely fits under the bed. So,
so it's good. Yeah.
Passes that test. So, yeah, you can rest assured that the body blade is a legit product then. Next up on the list, what one do I want to go with here, Tanner? What would be the best one? Okay, I want to go over this one just because I vaguely remember it with some people, and I want to see if you have more of a memory with this.
Okay.
So this was the fad of energy bracelets, like power balance things.
Balance, yeah.
And how do you say this one? Is it fighting? Is that how it's?
I don't know.
It was the one that was huge in baseball players.
Okay. Yeah. And they do the test where they like knock you over and then they put it on and they like push your fist down and then you don't fall over.
Yeah, and they have like holograms in them.
Yes.
Like, and it's supposed to do.
But those have been 100% defunct. That they're like, I mean, it's proven that it's crap, right?
Yes, and this is in the thing that they're like offering better balance or something.
Yeah.
Like I think there's things for like bracelets for like seasickness and anxiety and things like that too.
Yeah, but I think the bracelets for like seasickness,
I think they're like going at a pressure point. Yeah, so I think there might actually be
more
some science
something
behind
to
these.
that. Yeah,
not holograms.
right.
But yeah,
Holograms
like
doesn't count.
this is one that I just kind of vaguely remember a few people having these, and I remember them being like big in like certain professional sports, like people having them on.
Oh yeah, that braiding of that, like I remember.
Like the one kind of looks like a braided,
yeah,
and like the one kind of looks like a braided cable. The other one looks like it's kind of like a braided cloth thing, like. And this one is just a weird one to me because of how big I feel like it actually got. Like I think if you like type these in, a lot of people would recognize these things, and they're essentially gone now.
Yeah, because I think it eventually got so much where people are like, no, this is just shit. Like this is not doing anything.
Like I think they were in like East Bay and like every like mail order catalog. Like these things were everywhere, and I'm not even like bother to look up like how they try to market it. But this Fight PHITEN, they are very much still a company with lots of products. Whoa. They have crystal bracelets for $210. Nice. Ceramic type. Oh, this has to. Okay, I want to just hope that this is just supposed to be stylish, but yeah, this must just be style because it doesn't say anything about like benefits. But maybe they can't. Maybe they can't even advertise that anymore. I don't even know. But
yeah, so those are shit. Like, obviously. Don't buy those.
Yeah, so that one has disappeared into
if you think the way it looks is cool, then go. I guess maybe buy it, but otherwise just don't buy that.
Yeah, I don't even see them in their product descriptions mentioning anything about like performance enhancing of any kind. It's just strictly a style thing. So I guess the world has moved on and they continue to exist. Wow. Okay. All right, Tanner. Last up.
All right.
On Fitness's Finest.
Is it the finest of today's finest?
It is the finest of today's finest, and this is one I was pretty impressed by. So we're not talking equipment here. This is called prancercising. Now, this is a bit of a fitness routine. Are you familiar with prancercising?
No, is it like Tybo?
No, not quite.
Okay.
So if you break it down to what the words really are, prancercising. This is an actual workout routine. Here's the this is the actual description. It is a holistic fitness method based on a springy, rhythmic way of moving forward, similar to a horse gait, but ideally it's induced by elation. So,
induced by elation?
Just just your pure happiness for the world is what makes you want to prancercise. So if you look at this lady that invented prancercising,
and this is real. You would say this isn't a joke.
No, this is real. So, this video has 14 million views.
Prancercise LLC, and I'm here today to show you the 4 modes of prancercise. I've got my ankle weights in place, and my music's ready.
Wow.
So let's stop talking and do some walking.
Describe what that lady looks like.
Okay. So the lady, right away. All right. The lady is, I don't know, 50-ish.
Yeah.
She has
like a pearl necklace.
Like the 90s mom hairdo.
Yeah.
Like a peach colored cardigan, I think, and then white tights on.
Yeah.
And she's not out of shape, but doesn't immediately look like someone you'd be taking fitness advice through.
No.
And now, Tanner, watch her do her thing. Here we go. All right, actually, first of all, the music choice already does not go with this at all. And this is actually okay. I had to check to see if someone was like overdubbing something. This is from the actual Prancercise YouTube channel, which has 13,000 subscribers, which is considerably more than the Massenomics channel. But her video also has almost 15 million views. Yeah. So okay, let's watch her do her thing. So she's just kind of bouncing around
like 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
You would never in a million years not see this person walking and think that they're sober in any way.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like there's no way this lady is not like on every med in her cabinet at the same time. And her music choice though is really impressing me, to be honest here. But yeah, she just will bounce around.
Keeps on.
And she has a few different variations of how to get from point A to point B.
That she's in on the joke.
I don't know. I honestly don't know with this one.
So what do you buy?
Well, let's take a deeper look at the website here.
What does she say?
Okay. I haven't seen the website until right now. Prancercise.com. Prancercise, a fitness revolution. The head photo... The main photo on the website is her like running through a grass field with a horse who I would be absolutely amazed if this horse is not photoshopped.
Oh yeah, that's photoshopped for sure, right? Yeah.
So it's like, okay, she could for whatever reason didn't have the budget to be with an actual horse.
Couldn't get a real horse, yeah.
And here's the quote: "It's about self-expression. It's about nonviolence. It's about conservation." That's a very wide range of things right there.
Conservation.
And nonviolence. I would argue most fitness programs are about nonviolence, really.
They're about nonviolence.
This form of movement, along with dietary and spiritual principles, can create the most satisfying, holistic, and successful fitness program one could hope to experience. I encourage anyone who's ready for a huge change in their lives, from the way they see the world to the way they see themselves, to explore the principles inherent in this program, especially as outlined in my book, Prancercise, The Art of Physical and Spiritual Excellence. Joanna Rohrbach, BHS. I don't know what what designation of BHS is, but she has one. So, should we see how much you think the book is?
So that's what you'd buy as the book, I guess.
Yeah, for some reason she has a photo of Gandhi next to her book. Don't know why, what that has to do with anything. I could probably read and find out, but yeah. Oh, I think the nonviolence aspect is going back to Gandhi. Also, the cover of the book is pretty amazing.
Got that same photoshopped horse in there with her.
It is a ground with her, 2 pictures of her and a horse. None of them are touching the ground. They're all floating above
the clouds,
it. But it does look pretty cool. Is available to order on Amazon for the price of the hardcover's $23.40. It does have 83 customer reviews actually. So
wow.
About 83 more than I would have guessed. I like this review. The writer clearly has a lot of baggage from her childhood, but I've been prancercising in the pool and it feels wonderful. This book finally let me experience my inner horse. I was childlike again, prancing through the woods. I was convinced I even had 4 legs. So this person even lost 100 pounds here.
Wow.
I don't know what more you could want out of a fitness program. So, yeah, I highly encourage everyone to go check out Prancercising online. You will not be disappointed, if anything, for style tips. Underrated, that was the finest. That was the finest of fitness's finest this week.
Prancercising as soon as
you should bring that up to your physical therapist, Tanner, and see if they
familiar with Prancercising.
They said I think it could really do some things for me in the recovery process.
Okay, so underrated or overrated? We're gonna jump right into it. The rules, a little cliff notes of the rules we'll say on this one. Underrated or overrated consist of lightning round questions asked by myself to Tommy. Yada yada yada. Tommy has his druthers. Yada, yada, yada. He has to have a final answer by the end of the question. Topic number 1, underrated or overrated? Joe Rogan, more specifically his podcast. Or you could answer it either way, him or the Joe Rogan podcast.
Okay, so before I even answer this, I do have to address something about the underrated, overrated segment that I think now that we've opened it up to the Instagram poll, which I do love, yeah. I do think we have to. I don't think enough people have thought about this segment enough. I think most people treat it as, do I like it or are you? Most people are saying, are you asking me if I like it or not?
That's not the question.
And that is not the question at all. That is almost the exact opposite of what the question actually is.
In some cases, it is. Yeah.
It's really asking for, is this overrated or underrated?
So it's not saying, do you think Joe Rogan's podcast is good?
This is when this moral dilemma really hit me, Tanner, was when you put The Rock on me.
Yeah.
And like The Rock can't possibly be rated any higher.
No.
So by that metric, he almost has to be overrated.
I would.
And I think most people. I think most people said he was underrated.
I think so. Yeah.
And
I think some people understand that, but not.
But I think a lot of people take it as, well, I like The Rock, so there's no way he can be overrated.
Right.
But the two aren't. They're not exclusive to each other here.
And I know that some people aren't getting it because just about every time we put that poll out, someone DMs and says, "Well, they're rated correctly." That's not a choice.
That's also not the choice.
That's not a choice.
Also not the choice. So
very specifically part of the segment is that a choice is not appropriately rated.
Yes.
Underrated or overrated.
So now that we have discussed that with Joe Rogan, I think he's like, the fact that he's done over 1,000 podcasts and with the number of people he has is insane.
Yeah.
Like almost no one in the world will do that. That's just a stupid number. But he also has one of the largest podcasts in the world. Mm-hmm. He is a comedian. He is on a lot of other stuff too. I'm going to say overrated because Joe Rogan can't be rated much higher than what he is right now.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it.
I do enjoy a good Joe Rogan podcast, but I will go with overrated on this one.
Full disclosure, I've never listened to a Joe Rogan podcast.
You know what? I haven't.
Never one.
I've maybe listened to 10 or 15 ever, and I haven't finished. When I say 10 or 15, I mean that's like ones that I've ever heard ever. I had to go back the other day just because I was bored and had some time. I put on the Louis Simmons one. It's a strange one to listen to. Yeah. We'd listen to West Side versus the World. I'm like, okay, I got to get a little more of Louis here, and it's interesting. Yeah. It's interesting. I enjoyed the Elon Musk one much more than that one, but.
But is that your recommendation if I were to listen to one, is listen to Elon Musk?
I mean, I found it entertaining. You do have to somewhat be interested in what he has going on. If you don't care about Tesla and electric cars and all the weird shit he's trying to do, I would definitely not listen to that one. Yeah, I would definitely not listen to that one. But if you're interested in that stuff at all, it's super interesting.
Right. But your final answer is overrated.
I will go overrated.
Okay. Underrated or overrated? Flossing, not the dance.
Thank you for clarifying. Yeah. I think flossing is.
I think we know where the dance falls.
Yeah. I do think flossing your teeth is underrated because no one does it. It's definitely good for you. Yeah. This does make me think of the meme. I can't remember. This might have been a Middle Class Fancy meme. It was a picture of.
You had me at Middle Class Fancy.
It was a picture of a guy in a dentist office. It took me a second to get this the first time I saw it. It was a picture of a guy. A dentist talking to a guy in the chair, and the dentist was like, "When was the last time you flossed?" And then over the guy it says, "Dude, you should know you were there," because that's the only time anyone flosses is when the dentist does it for you. Yeah. I think flossing is underrated. We should all probably be doing more of it.
I think you're probably right. It feels good when you do floss. I always look.
Well, I mean, first your gums got to get used to it. They kind of bleed for a while. Yeah.
When you go to the dentist every time, you're like, oh God, they're gonna yell at me.
Yeah. When was last? It's like when the last time I flossed was. Not recently enough.
I really appreciate it having I've had some of both. I like having the ones that don't chastise you and make you feel like a worthless piece of garbage for not flossing.
They have to realize that approach doesn't work because they wouldn't be giving that speech every time. So
Exactly.
do it a different way.
So underrated on the flossing.
I'll say underrated, yes.
Okay. Underrated or overrated? Chernobyl. And what were you saying? You haven't seen any of it? You have not seen
so
any
I
of it.
started after Game of. Well, actually, this actually probably answers the question already when I say this. I was almost done with Game of Thrones and thinking, what am I gonna start now? Like, what's the next epic here?
Yeah.
And then talk of Chernobyl. Like, this is the next big thing.
It's pretty hot right now.
Chernobyl's pretty hot as of right now. If you care about this, or if you don't even know what this is, IMDb, the Internet Movie Database. It's a huge database. A lot of people view it as a pretty important thing for how things are rated. As of right now, Chernobyl is the highest rated TV show of all time. And I think, is it like Breaking Bad's number 2, and Game of Thrones just fell behind Breaking Bad to be number 3, I think.
Okay.
So already, all right, this 5-part miniseries, best TV show of all time. That's definitely got some attention.
Yeah.
I mean, already, according to this website, this ranking system, it is the best of all time. It can't be ranked any higher. It's the best of all time. I started the first episode with my wife, telling her we got to watch this. She will be the first to say she's not really a history person at all. The first episode, if you're not much of a history person and you don't know much about nuclear reactors and you also don't really know a whole lot about Russia, I can totally see how the first episode is like, nope, don't care. And that was pretty much my wife's takeaway is not interested. I was like, for being told the best show of all time, to be honest, I was expecting a little more exciting. I mean, it was good, but I was expecting maybe something a little crazier. She quit at that point. I went on to the second episode. I thought the second episode was better than the first one because now you start to. The first one, you like, what does it all mean? You don't really know.
Right,
so now all of a sudden you're starting to get what it means. It's like, whoa, that is crazy.
Yeah.
And that was an actual thing.
And it's real.
And that is real.
And also, I think from what I've seen, it's really real. Like the movie is, the show is like they've even taken clips of pictures of real life, of say like this is later, like courtroom or stuff like that, and then put it up next to
and like you
videos.
Can't even like tell it,
like
and
legitimately.
That's what I kept seeing with a lot of some of the news articles and like quotes you see on things is like the attention to like
details,
historical accuracy here is just like unheard of. I'm only 2 episodes in, so I can't give a definitive my opinion. But based on the fact that it is the highest rated TV show of all time, I'm gonna say it's overrated.
That's probably almost so that has to be is the default.
And you would
answer.
also assume that at some point, like, people are going to get off the hype train with it, and it's going to kind of normalize, and people are going to, we were maybe a little hyped on it. So I think it probably is overrated at this point. But I am excited to watch it.
I finished it, and I really liked it. It's really good. But I really liked the history part of it. I didn't know that much about Chernobyl, so it was almost like, oh, this is a good chance for me to learn something. About something.
That's the other one too. It's like, you just don't know. I don't really remember learning about Chernobyl.
No,
I feel like all I've ever known about Chernobyl is like from me, like maybe seeing some stuff on the History Channel when I was a kid when they would actually have stuff like that on.
Yeah, when they actually had stuff about history and not just Pawn
ancient
Stars.
aliens. Not just people selling other people's shit. Like
staged reality shows.
Yes.
Counting cars and American Restoration.
I was going to say one more thing about Chernobyl. Yeah, I'm just excited to see the rest of it. So
you did say I'm overrated.
I did say overrated. Yeah.
Falls into the Joe Rogan, The Rock area of things that are good, but you almost have to say are overrated. Okay, so underrated or overrated? Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. PBR, as PBR. The kids might say.
Well, in a lot of areas of the country, it's a like hipster beer.
Right.
Around here, it's just kind of a beer.
Yeah.
Just like most of the beers that are served around this part of the country, it's like it's with your High Lifes and your Schmitz and Hams and all that stuff. It's like it's just one of the beers that you drink. That's a light beer.
It's cheap.
I don't know. I feel like you don't see as much hype about PBR lately, though. I feel like a couple years ago there was a lot of people. It was like in a lot of bars, like especially.
And it's always the thing like you can get for like in a can for $1.
Like that was like a lot of bars had like their craft beer selection, and also like you can get a PBR 16-ounce can for like $2.50.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the deal, but it's also kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like I don't hear much hype about it anymore, I think I might go underrated because there's no room in this world for people to be elitist about light beers.
That's right.
And even if you don't go, actually, PBR isn't just PBR is a regular beer too, but not just light.
Yeah.
But when I say light, I'm
just mean
vanilla domestic beers.
Yeah, domestic. Yeah.
I'm not about that elitism about domestic beers.
Yeah.
People saying, "Oh, you can't get drunk off of it." Oh, it's water. Okay, drink 30 of them.
Still get drunk, I promise.
Yeah. Do you have something to complain? Okay, yeah, I got to drink 30 of them.
Yeah.
Well, do you like beer or not? Like, well,
Yeah,
you can't have it both ways.
Right.
You can't say you love it and then you love beer,
I
but
don't
you don't
wanna
like
drink
this
that
one.
many.
Yeah. Or then complain about there's not enough alcohol to get drunk.
Yeah.
Well, there is a solution. Just drink more. So, I'm gonna say underrated.
That's fair. I'm not sure. I really don't personally have an answer for that. I couldn't say that would be a tough one.
But I can't remember the last time I bought PBR though. Like in a
I've
liquor
never
store.
Bought it from a store.
I have only a few times just because I should do something different tonight.
Yeah.
But and that's the other thing too is like regional cheap shitty beers.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's people
That's
listening.
not the number one for our as far as cheap beers for our region. That's not in the top.
Like for our region for sure. And some people wouldn't even say like this is a cheap shitty beer. I mean, a lot of people would, but some people like Busch Light and like Keystone
Busch
Light.
Light and Keystone Light.
Like for me, when I was younger, it was like Keystone Light. Like that is it comes in a pack of 30.
Yep.
Like it's
Natty Light
routinely
is not big here.
not really, no.
But like that's big in other places, I know.
Yep, and like went through like Miller High Life, like that was cheap and good. The one that was always really mysterious but just funny to me was Schmidt's. And that was because there was a fish on the can, a picture of a fish, and it
like
makes
fishy, skunky.
it's
beer.
like why we just call them fish beers because like whoever would advertise a product that you drink by like putting an actual like outdoor photo of like a fish on it, like it doesn't really make any sense. So
Old Milwaukee's Best is another one.
Old Milwaukee's, yeah, that fits right in there too. Old Milwaukee and I mean, you can get into like malt liquors, but that's like a whole other thing, like your Steel Reserves but that doesn't count. That's a different category.
If you're
there.
playing
So.
Edward 40 hands.
yeah, whole other thing.
That does wrap up our underrated, overrated segment, and of course that means it wraps up the Massenomics podcast for the week. Head over to our store. The two hottest, newest things are still our tank tops, the lift tank top and the deadlifter tank top.
I did like what the comment you made today about how they cover up your arms. What was the
yeah. What was that? If are tired of sleeves getting in the way for your overly elaborate deadlift setups?
Yes, yeah.
Well, worry no
we
more.
We have solved the problem.
Yeah, yes.
So yeah, they work great for deadlift setups. Yeah.
Like when you're like,
when
all
you
the crap that people do, and like,
swing your arms above and around your head 5 times.
Yeah. It's almost like the free throw, like the free throw routine that people have when they shoot free throws.
Yeah.
Like,
was it on Semi-Pro where did he have Will Ferrell have like a really ridiculous one on there?
Yeah. That's what a deadlift setup is like. We have the deadlifter hat is one of the newer things. The Jefferson deadlift shirt, of course, and we've got a number of new things in the works that you should be seeing within the next month or so.
And they're gonna be fun.
Yeah,
they're gonna be fun.
Yeah, we've got shirts and flags coming out, and it's some logos that you've never seen of us before, and tackling some areas that you've never seen us tackle before. Some colors you've never seen us
taking on some hot button issues, and you can really let the world know where you stand on things.
Yeah. We kind of are taking on politics.
A little bit, yeah. The bigger social economical problems hitting our society are being addressed with these shirts here.
So stay tuned for that. Like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, battle out there to get first comment. This week the upload was exceptionally slow, so it made first comment interesting.
It was like a jungle out there.
Of the people that were pissed that Sunday it was not.
See, Tanner, this is bigger than you now, so figure it out.
Yeah, so hopefully by this one you'll be able to battle that out Sunday evening like you normally do for first comment. And then most importantly, we've got our Instagram handles. Where can they find you, Tommy?
They can find me at Tomahawk_D.
And you can follow the official Massenomics page at Massenomics. That'll do us for 167. We'll see you next time for 168.
See ya.
You just heard the Massenomics podcast. With your ears, you're welcome. Check us out on Facebook, find us on Instagram at Massenomics, and make sure you visit Massenomics.com and buy some of that sweet Massenomics gear. From your friends at Massenomics Studio, home of the world's strongest podcast, stay strong.